Today, for your viewing pleasure, I have brought forth the power of the original Game Boy, which I suspect to be my first ever console. I got this back in 1995. It had already been out for 6 years, but I was only a boy, so I didn't know how old it was. Even though it was that old and there were colour systems out there like the Sega Game Gear, this is the first one I got to play, and when I opened it, it was amazing. I must have spent, I don't know how many hours of my childhood playing this thing, but it came with Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 2, and I wasted so many hours on that. And of course Pokemon came out and more hours went, and that was the end of my childhood. It came with this bag. I don't know if all the units came with this, I don't think they did, but I got this bag and I was, well, pretty pleased with it. I've got it today even, and there's a compartment for all your games, you know, like Super Mario Land, cool game, Wario Land 2, Super Mario Land 2, and Pokemon Blue. I had Pokemon Blue and my sister had Pokemon Red, so it gave us an opportunity to sort out our feuds without fighting physically. Not that I condone hitting girls, but I was about, 6. So the cartridges actually, I think, are a bit of a homage to the NES cartridges. They're big and grey. Not that big, but they sort of bear a resemblance to them. They have this little groove in the top here to stop them sliding out in the console, and you plug it in. So yeah, I am missing my battery cover, but I was a small boy and I didn't really care for battery covers too much. Only playing of them. The screen itself is pretty appalling. I must have had horrendous eye strain looking at this thing. I don't even know if you could make it out on the camera, but I'll try it out and adjust the contrast, which is probably broken, and the batteries are falling out because I haven't got the cover on. Common fault, not blowing the cartridges. Let's give it a blow. Takes you back. Oh yeah. Sweet, sweet action. Okay, let's try that again. The contrast dial on this is actually pretty damn knackered. I've had this for as long as I can remember, about 1995, so it's going to be a bit buggered. A few years later, in about 2000, I think, I love this console so much that I ended up buying a Game Boy Advance. By this time I was really into home consoles, non-portable units, and the games were so much better. And they just lost their charm after a while. After the first Pokemon Blue, I couldn't even play any more Pokemons because they just seemed so washed out when they added all these other Pokemon to it. It just didn't seem right anymore. I'm also missing the battery cover for that. Anyway, let's have a look at the console unit in detail. So on the front here we have a big ass dot matrix screen. It says so here, see, I'm not lying. With stereo sound. And I can tell you this speaker is not stereo, it's mono. But if you plug in a good set of headphones here at the bottom, in your headphone jack, you will get stereo sound. It's not very good sound, lovely MIDI quality kind of thing, but it's pretty appalling. You get a nice D-pad. It's not the best, it does hurt your thumb after a while, but for old crappy games it's pretty good. You get an A and B button, same as the NES, or NES, however you want to say it. A start and a select button, pretty standard by then, on the NES controller as well, I think. And that's it for the front, really. Pretty plain, big and grey, but I think that looks amazing. This also, as well as the PlayStation, has changed colour from a grey to a nice beige. On the top here, we have the on and off switch. That's it. Oh, but we do have this nice groove effect, as I mentioned in my previous review, which I would really love to see a return of. I think it just looks the best. I mean, if they put that on an Xbox, imagine how amazing that would look. On the side, we have a volume dial. Or is it contrast? No, it's contrast. A contrast dial. And a power adapter, which I don't have, but I think it's a DC, normal power adapter. You could probably wire yourself up one, probably quite a low voltage. On the back, you've got your cartridge slot, your batteries, which should have a cover over them. Mine doesn't, obviously. And on the other side, a link cable hole. Very good terminology there. So you could play with your friends, like Pokemon. Go into the Pokemon Center and battle them. How cool are we? And a volume dial, which is actually a volume dial this time, not contrast. And more of the groove effect, which is very nice. Very solid console, child-proof. I've probably dropped this. And this panel here on the front that protects the screen is actually replaceable. You get a lovely battery LED that goes dimmer and dimmer and dimmer until you run out of power, giving you opportunity to get your password or save. And yeah, it's pretty nice. What do I think of this compared to the Advance? Well, which one looks nicer? This one has a nice beige hard plastic. This one has a see-through tacky plastic. This has an amazing dot matrix screen. This has some kind of TFT colour thing going on. I think we know which one wins here. I mean, it is the Game Boy. It just looks a lot better. Which one would you try and attract women with? I think it's this one. So that's pretty much it for the Game Boys. I do have a pocket, but not on me. It's in a display cabinet because I got it signed by one of my favourite Flash artists off eBay. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please go out and buy one of these. They're dirt cheap, about £10 now. Pokemon, however, when coupled with this, it goes up to about £20 or £30. So try and get it without if you have an old copy of Pokemon lying around. But I mean, well, you're gonna want to play Pokemon anyway. What am I talking about? Alright guys, see you next time. Hopefully by then my VGA adapter has arrived for the Dreamcast and I can review Half-Life. But we'll see, because I think it's coming from China. Anyway, see you next time.